Welcome to GBL GameDay, your home for all the exciting action from the Greater Boston League.
In game number one, the winless Aston TDs faced off against the 1-1 Hurricane. Despite a stellar performance from Ass quarterback Lamar Jackson, the dynamic trio of wide receivers Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, and running back Devin Singletary were too much for the TDs. They struggled to find their rhythm all day, ultimately losing to Hurricane with a score of 127 to 88.28. This defeat leaves Aston TDs searching for their first win, now sitting at 0-3. In game number two, the winless Mama Patterson faced off against the 1-2 Senor Ocho Cinco, and it was another blowout victory. Running back Jonathan Taylor and wide receiver DK Metcalf led the charge for Mama Patterson, dominating the field. While wide receiver Justin Jefferson delivered a solid performance for Ocho, the rest of the team struggled to find their rhythm, resulting in a disappointing outing for Joel. Ultimately, he falls to Kelly in week 3, and Mama Patterson wins with a final score of 128.04 to 80.84. In the GBL Game of the Week, the undefeated Albany Express, sitting at 2-0, faced off against the 1-1 Miami Sound Machine. This matchup was a nail-biter right down to the wire. Strong Sunday showings from quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receivers Amon-Ra St. Brown and Marvin Harrison propelled the Sound Machine to a narrow lead heading into Monday night. The tension mounted as wide receiver Drake London of the Express came just short of securing the win, ultimately falling to the Sound Machine with a final score of 110.56 to 105.48. In game number 4, we witnessed a showdown between two of the league's top two offenses, the undefeated Fighting Irish and the one-loss Quails. This one was a thriller featuring multiple double-digit performances from both squads. Running back Saquon Barkley led the way for the Irish, with quarterback Joe Burrow also delivering a strong showing. However, it wasn't enough to secure the win, as Quails quarterback Josh Allen lit up the scoreboard with over 30 points, complemented by wide receiver Rashee Rice's contributions. In a nail-biting finish, the Quails edged out the Irish, handing them their first loss of the season with a final score of 135.82 to 134.48. In a highly anticipated battle of the undefeateds, the number 1 ranked Albanian Hard Knocks took on the handicap Heroes. Unfortunately for Mikey, the Heroes were rarely in the game. A standout performance from tight end Dallas Goedert delivered a crushing blow, sealing the deal for the Hard Knocks and handing Mikey his first loss of the season. With a lackluster outing for wide receiver Calvin Ridley and a 0 from kicker Dustin Hopkins, the Heroes struggled to keep pace. In the end, they fell in week 3 by a score of 106.86 to 84.08. Theo remains the only undefeated team left in the league and continues to hold the top spot. And finally, in the clash of the winless, the Korean Mafia faced off against the injured reserves, and what an unbelievable outcome it was. The Mafia's running back duo of Kyron Williams and Aaron Jones combined for over 58 points in week 3, showcasing their dominance. Meanwhile, the injured reserves struggled to fill their lineup, but running back Zach Charbonnet stepped up with a solid 25.7 point performance, bolstered by a strong showing from the Green Bay defense. This game was a nail-biter that could have gone either way, but in the end, the reserves fell just short, losing by a single point, 107.28 to 106.28. Let's take a look at the slate of games for Week 4. In match number 1, the winless injured reserves look to get their first win against number 8, Mama Patterson. Next up in match number 2 is a battle of the office as number 3, the Quails, take on number 6, Hurricane. In match number 3, it's the first cousin versus cousin battle as number 5 handicap heroes take on the winless number 12 Ass and TDs. Next up in match number 4 is two of the most dynamic teams in the league as number 2 Fighting Irish take on number 4 Albanian Express. In match number 5, it's one of the most historic rivalries in GBL history as number 9 Korean Mafia battle for the Jerry Gascosta Memorial Trophy against number 7 the Miami Sound Machine. And finally in match number 6, number 10 Senor Ochocinco looks to get back off to a winning start, taking on the number 1 team in the league, Albanian Hard Knocks. In the Week 4 GBL Game of the Week, we have an exciting matchup as the number 3 Quails take on the newcomers, number 6 Hurricane. This marks the first official meeting in the GBL, but these teams aren't total strangers. They face off annually in the Roach Brothers Fantasy Football League, adding an extra layer of intrigue to this clash. Both squads have started strong, but now they'll battle it out to determine who truly reigns supreme between a plate of cheese and crackers and a chicken sandwich. The Quails are projected to finish in first place for the second consecutive year, showcasing their dominance. Meanwhile, Hurricane, despite being the underdogs, are expected to land around 8th place and are eager to prove that they can hang with the best. It's a battle of expectations versus reality, and we can't wait to see who comes on top in this thrilling encounter. Will the Quails maintain their momentum, or will Hurricane pull off an upset? Stay tuned. This week's GBL Spotlight shines on the 2-time GBL champion Albanian Hard Knocks. In 2023, Theo finished in 4th place for the GBL Champion of the Decade honor, boasting an impressive 51.49% winning percentage, with an all-time record of 52 wins and 49 losses. Theo has solidified his status as one of the best managers in the GBL, capturing championship titles in 2018 and 2021. With playoff appearances in 5 seasons, 2017, 2018, 2020, 2021, and 2022, Theo has proven his mettle, dominating each of his title games by at least 50 points. He's also reached the semifinals on 4 out of the 5 occasions, with the only miss coming in 2020. Tied for 4th all-time in regular season titles, he claimed victory in 2021. His teams are known as scoring powerhouses, holding the record for the highest average weekly score in GBL history at 121.11 points. Over his 8-year career, Theo has beaten Sean Keogh more than any other opponent on 9 occasions, but he's also faced challenges. No one has defeated the Albanian Hard Knocks more than George Gibo and rival Alvin Corazzi, each with 8 wins against him. Last year was a tough one, finishing in last place with a 2-12 record, but it ended on a high note as the Hard Knocks triumphed in the 2023 Isolation Toilet Bowl. This year, Theo was given the 11th best ranking in the draft and a 9th best chance at winning the title, but they're defying expectations with an undefeated start at 3-0. Can the Albanian Hard Knocks continue their winning ways? Stay tuned.